So if you're like me, you get a little bored. Being in the house and looking around, you might have this huge backlog. You might have tons of games digitally just sitting there on your Switch, on your Ps4, on your Xbox, and you're curious, saying, what should I play? Like, what should I dedicate my time to? So I'm going to help you out. As I've indicated, 5 must-play games during this time. These are the areas in which you need to sink your time, and it's totally worth it. I promise. It's super good. So let's start with number 5. Number 5 for me is The Witcher 3. Now, The Witcher 3 just recently came to the Nintendo Switch. It's a really good game, really deep, can take you well over 100 hours to play through, and the DLC comes with the Nintendo Switch version. So, regardless of where you pick this up, it's a fun game. Let's put it that way. I have it on the PC, I have it on the PS4 and the Switch. Ironically, it would be nice if I could share save data, and I might replay some more at some point, but The Witcher 3 is really good. It's way better than the show, okay? And it's a good representation of the source material. This is a singular large quest that you honestly can just take so many paths and miss so many things that you could just replay this game almost endlessly. It's a lot of fun. Number 4 on my list is actually one that I have not played in a few years, and it's one that I think I'm going to replay, especially with the recent news of this series becoming a trilogy. And this is Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, in this game, you fight robot dinosaurs with, let's just face it, like amazing robotic super caveman tools. Okay, if you're in this futuristic society, which is, post-apocalyptic, but you're essentially fighting robot dinosaurs with a bow, and that's pretty cool. This game is fantastic. It's something that, sadly, I remember this, I played this for 7 hours, and Breath of the Wild happened, and so I was like, I'll set this down, look at Breath of the Wild, because I'm a huge Zelda nut, And there, after 120 hours of Breath of the Wild, I went back to Horizon, and it didn't click with me immediately. I literally sat the game down for a few months and then had to go back and start all over, but I'm glad that I did. This game is fantastic. I can't wait to see the future versions in this trilogy, and considering how big the second game is supposed to be. But as of right now, this is a game you can really dig in, do all the side quests, fight dinosaurs, and it is a lot of fun. I highly recommend this game. Number 3 is one that, let's face it, is amazing. Okay, it's a game that it's stylish, it's wonderful, it's great, and it's one that is going to take up a lot of your time. Like, I'm guaranteeing you over 100 hours spent, which is one of the big things that I was considering when looking at this list, was what is a good game that is a good time sink, but also when you finish, you still want more. Now, Persona 5 is number 3 here. This is just astonishingly like the real world. Tokyo, you go through subways, you go through restaurants, you do everything here, and it's a lot of fun. This game is a dungeon crawler, but also a life sim. It's one of those perfect mixtures of these two things, and not so much so like there are a lot of games that are life sims that cause me a lot of anxiety because I don't want to miss. With this one, I just kind of laid back, picked a route that I just felt comfortable with, made decisions that I felt comfortable with, and in the end, I felt really good about it. Persona 5 Royal just came out, and come on, man, new content. We're talking, I personally haven't played it. I hear it's over 20 hours at least of new content and story, and I can't wait to check that one out, and that might be why I revisit this game. This is one definitely to look at, and invest in. Spend your time right there. So my number 2 for this is Red Dead Redemption 2. This is one that I really didn't connect with for a few years, and here I am back jumping in, and oh my gosh, like when I was busy working, it was something that, just to be honest, I didn't have a ton of time in the afternoons to sit down and just play this game. So when I would go and try to get through a mission, and I'd have to go fish, and this, some of the missions are long-winded. I get it. It takes a long time to ride from one place to the other, and for some reason, when you get in your camp, you walk as slow as a snail. But this game is a masterpiece. It's fantastic, it's wonderful, and it's one that you definitely should visit. The storytelling is almost unparalleled. It's one of those that you're going to sink 100 plus hours into this game easy. You're going to love the characters, and when you finish, you're going to want more. As a matter of fact, once you get this game, once you finish this game, there is an online mode that offers you more to get, and that's the beautiful thing about this. It is my number 2. Definitely play this. If you have not played this game during this time, do it. If you need something to spend your time doing, play this game.
Open your eyes.
And this leads us to number 1, which is at this time, at the time, immediately after playing this game, I said it's the best game. It's the epitome. Like, it's the best game that's ever been made. And, I have a lot of nostalgia for a few different titles, and I've had like my top 5 set for a long time. And I was like, well, maybe it's just that I'm kind of riding the waves of this new experience. But after a few years and over 300 hours invested in this one title, yeah, it's definitely the best game that's ever been made. Definitely my favorite of all time. And it's one that if you haven't played, now is the time to invest in this one. And that is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild system is just a open world, throws you in at the very beginning, and allows you to explore and get rewarded for exploring constantly. You go, and just getting from one mountaintop to the other is in itself a mini adventure in this game. And the way that they present this, everything about it is just fantastic. I know looking at it from the outside, if you haven't played it, you might say, well, the weapons break. That's kind of a deal breaker for me. Trust me, I was afraid of that too. Once you get going with it, you will see it's not that big of a deal. Everything that you do in this game, whether it's chasing down bokoblins, whether it's stealing a skeleton horse, whether it's going into one of the 4 main dungeons in the game, whatever it is that you are doing, it is worth every moment. Like, it is just thrilling. It's awesome. And even climbing mountains and the challenge with that, praying it doesn't rain while you're in the middle of it, it's all so awesome. This is a game that I highly recommend, and if you have not played it, get on it right now. What are you waiting on? Anyway, that's a top 5 games that I think you should play during this time. Also, there are honorable mentions like Super Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, things like that. Xenoblade will probably be my number 6. Mario Odyssey is up there in the top 3 best games on the Nintendo Switch, but you're not going to sink 100 hours into it. You can probably 100% that game within, about 30 hours or so. So that's going to do it. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe below for all things awesome, all things Nintendo. We'll see you next time.
Gamestork, delivering news, reviews, and playthroughs like a newborn baby.